Hello, I'm the Southern Celiac, and I'm going to be showing you how to make delicious Southern dishes gluten-free. And today we're going to make old-fashioned cornbread in an iron skillet. So let's get started. All right, when you're making cornbread, one of the important things is that you need a metal bowl because you're going to be pouring hot grease into this, okay? So start out with a metal bowl. I'm using this Dixie Lily cornmeal. It is not certified gluten-free, but I've done my research and it is a low risk that it's contaminated. Anyway, you use something that you're comfortable with. You know, this has never bothered me, and I'm celiac, but you do something that you're comfortable using. So the first thing we're going to do is measure out about one, and maybe, not a half, but something, close to a half cup of cornmeal. Before I had celiac disease, I always used a self-rising flour, but that is very difficult to find now. So I will just use a plain flour, and you'll see how I'm going to supplement the other ingredients for it. So that was a large spoonful, maybe, I would say a fourth of a cup, but I usually just use my spoon to get a little bit of an amount in there of flour. Now, the way I supplement it, because this was not self-rising, is I'm going to put a half teaspoon of baking powder, and maybe not a half teaspoon of soda, but close. Some soda and some salt, and that should make up for it not being self-rising. So this is a half teaspoon of salt. Now, my cornmeal was self-rising cornmeal, so it did have some of these ingredients in it. So you're just adding a little bit more to it because you're using that not self-rising flour. Okay, so we're going to give this a little stir. All right, now, okay, so I'm going to use canola oil, and because this does not take long to cook and to get together, I'm going to go ahead and get my skillet hot because you want your oil hot before this goes in the oven. All right, let's talk about this skillet for a minute. This is an iron skillet, but it's not just any iron skillet. My mom looked for a long time at flea markets and antique stores for a skillet that could be my cornbread skillet. Now, you might think it's odd that I have a skillet just for cornbread, but yes, that's what we do. When you're serious about your cornbread, like our family is, and we make it all the time, it's one of our staples, you want a cornbread skillet, and nobody else can use it or make other things in it. I can't even make other things in it. It's very well seasoned. I wash it with a warm sudsy water. You've heard that you can't use soap on the iron skillet. You can. It just depends on how well seasoned it is. This is very well seasoned, and so nothing else gets cooked in it. So I'm going to put my canola oil in the skillet. I'm going to use about a fourth of a cup, but you can adjust that. Going to set it on high so it can get good and hot. Now, I'm going to mix up the rest of my batter. All right, so we're going to need an egg, and 1 cup of buttermilk. All right. I'm going to give that a little bit of a stir. All right, a little bit of a stir, but not much because this is not near enough liquid. So just kind of breaking up that egg, and now I'm going to add water. Now I add water until it looks right. So I've got 2 cups here. Let's see how much it takes. Here's it shouldn't take much more than a cup. Now, and when you're stirring, you just kind of start gently because you don't want to, whip it out of the bowl there. But then once it starts getting in there, you can start giving it a good stir. A little bit's coming out. I usually do this at the sink. So, all right, that looks good. You do want your batter thin for this cornbread. So now, look, that makes 1 cup that I've used, and that is looking good. I'm looking over here at my oil. You want your oil hot. So let's see. Let's see how hot it is. When oil gets hot, it starts making a ripple in the skillet. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see those ripples right there? And I can see a little smoke. So this is good. This is fine. I'm going to turn the eye off. Now what you're going to do is pour most of this oil into your cornbread, and then you can leave some in the bottom of the skillet. But look at that. Look at that, how it's gone ahead and started cooking the cornbread. And you're just going to try to incorporate it, but then you're going to pour it in. And remember, it is on a hot ice, so you don't want it to sit there very long. And now we're popping it in the 450-degree oven. And I'm going to set the timer for 25 minutes. But at 25 minutes, I'm not going to take it out. I'm going to check it because it's supposed to be a certain color. It's supposed to be very, very golden brown when it comes out. And I'll show you what that looks like if you want it to be really crunchy. And so our goal is for it to be really, really crunchy on the outside and brown, but on the inside, it's going to be really soft and moist. So it's going to be the perfect cornbread. Okay? So we'll check back in 25 minutes.
A few moments later.
Well, I can smell that cornbread, and you'll know when it's ready because you will smell that crust browning. And I feel like it's about ready. Let's check. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to let it brown another couple of minutes. You will never have seen or tasted cornbread like this. There's a lot of cornbread recipes out there. Restaurants serve cornbread. You might think you know cornbread. You haven't had this cornbread. I promise that. Just wait and see. Okay, let's check it one more time. Okay, it looks good. Now, that is why you use a cornbread skillet. Did you see how that just popped right out? That's what you want to happen. And I want you to look at how delicious this is. Look at that golden brown color. And it's not going to be crumbly and dry like you think cornbread is. Here we go. Cut us a nice little piece. Whew, look at that. Oh my gosh. I'm going to put a little bit of butter on there. Then we'll have us a taste. Here we go. Oh my gosh. It's so hot. I'm going to have to let it cool a minute, I think. I'm just going to cut it so I don't have to Okay. All right, let's see. Check that how this tastes. It's so moist. It's so moist and tender on the inside and crunchy. Shut up. Wait. Okay, listen to this. I mean, it is crunchy as everything. Okay, here we go. Wow. I promise you, that's the best cornbread you ever tasted. You know what? You can do this. Just get you a good skillet, seasoned for your cornbread. Try it a few times. Try it till you get it right. You're gonna love it. All right? I love you. I know you can do it. Get in the kitchen and try it. I'm not kidding about how good that was.